interest of Debbie Jones. We're here today for a final in this case. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties.
Ms. Hodge, please state your name.
Mercedes Hodge. I'm with Child Protective Services.
Okay, can you answer the second question I had for you? Are you familiar with the child by the name of Debbie Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you familiar with the case involving Debbie Jones?
I was the investigator that worked the report that came in with concerns when Debbie Jones was removed initially.
Okay. And when did the department initially receive the report?
April of 2025.
Okay. And what was the report in regards to?
Concerns that mother and child both tested positive for methamphetamines on their UA, on their urine analysis.
Okay, and at what time was that?
At the child's birth.
Okay. And upon receiving the report, what steps did you take?
I approached the mother to talk to her to figure out what was going on.
Okay. And where did you meet with the mother at?
At the hospital before she was released after giving birth.
Okay. And did you discuss the allegation? Oh, let me back up. Who is the mother of Debbie Jones?
Carrie Jones.
Sorry, my phone's ringing. And
Ms. Hodge, can you speak up just a little bit?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And at the time that where did you meet with the mother at? I'm sorry.
It was the hospital before she was discharged after giving birth.
Okay. And at the time that you met with the mother, did you discuss the allegations with her?
Yes, I did.
Did she understand the allegations you were discussing?
Yes, she did.
And did you discuss the positive drug screens with Miss Jones?
Yes, I did.
And what did she tell you in regards to the drug screens?
That she had a history of drug use, and she's pretty aware that she was going to be positive because she did use up until 2 weeks before giving birth. So she was a pretty avid user.
Okay. And did she discuss with you what she used up to giving birth?
I know meth was a drug of choice. I'm not completely sure if there was any others at the time.
Okay. Now, at the time that Miss Jones was using methamphetamine, did she acknowledge to you that she knew she was pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. And was the child's drug screen consistent with the mother using methamphetamine during pregnancy?
Yes, it was positive as well.
Okay. Now, at the time that you contacted Miss Jones, did she provide the name of a father to you?
No. Made contact with her, no. She said she knew the father's name, but she would not provide it to the department.
Okay. And during the whole course of the case, did she ever provide to you the name of a father?
No.
Additionally, were there some concerns in regards to mother's mental health?
Yes, from her own admissions.
Okay. So did you have concerns with Miss Jones' ability to care for Debbie?
Yes, based off of the conversation that I have with her and the history that she let me know about.
Okay. Would it have, in your opinion, would there have been a danger for Miss Jones to have taken this baby with her from the hospital?
Absolutely.
Okay. And did you make attempts to prevent the removal of the child?
Yes, Miss Jones didn't have any other family to supervise her or that was willing for her to like move in with them to assist her with parenting or with supervision. We did try to go those routes, but she did not have any support in the area at all.
Okay. Did Miss Jones have other children?
Yes.
And did she have care of those other children?
No, she does not. And she told me, I think it was 13 years that she had not had any child in her care at all and had not been a caregiver to her own children.
Okay. And was that also due to a history of drug use?
Yes.
Okay. Did you continue after the removal of the child? Did you continue to have some contact with Miss Jones?
A very little from what I recall.
Okay. Other than what you have testified to, did you have any other participation in this case?
Not that I remember. Not that I can recall.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to review your affidavit investigative report?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. And what you testified to was pretty much the basis of those reports. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I would.
I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Archer.
No questions of this witness.
Okay, Ms. Zavala.
I have no questions.
All right, Ms. Powell, anything further of this witness?
Nothing further of this witness, Your Honor, and I have no objection to her being excused.
Okay, any objection, counsel?
No objection.
No objection.
All right, then, Ms. Hodge, you're free to go. Thank you. All right, your next witness.
A petitioner would call Sean Ryan.
Okay, Mr. Ryan. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today on trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Powell, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Ryan, please state your name.
Sean Ryan, Permanency Specialist
Okay, and who are you currently employed with?
with St. Francis Ministries.
Okay, and St. Francis Ministries is contracted to do the casework in CPS cases. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and are you familiar with the case involving the child Debbie Jones?
I am.
And how long have you been on the case?
Probably about 7 months, I think.
Okay.
Now, today,
And-
probably 7, 8 months. I don't know. Around there.
Okay, so pretty close to the beginning.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and now there was a worker just prior to you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. There was.
And have you had the opportunity to review all of the notes and all of the entries maintained by that worker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, once St. Francis receives a case, begins working a case, what steps does the St. Francis take in developing the case?
We try to get in contact with the parents. We create a family plan of service based off their history and their needs. We send them to drug screen, create visitations, things like that.
Okay. And was a service plan developed in this case for the mother?
There was, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you had the opportunity to review the exhibits I sent out yesterday?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I did. I'm sorry. I did. I
Okay.
apologize.
In regards to Exhibit 1, do you recognize that document?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a true and accurate copy of the document?
Yes, ma'am.
And has it been altered in any way?
No, ma'am.
I'd ask to enter Exhibit 1 into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No objection.
Objection.
All right, petitioner's exhibit 1 will be admitted.
Mr. Ryan, what is Exhibit 1?
1 second. I'm trying to load it. I apologize. It's the family plan of service for Carrie Jones.
Okay. And why are family plans developed?
They're developed to start the parents with their services that they struggle with, such as drug screens, counseling, individual therapy, rational behavior therapy, things like that, to help mitigate the reasons for reunification in the future.
Okay. And in review of this document, does it show that the mother, Carrie Jones, signed the document?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay. And were you ever able to personally have conversations with Miss Jones regarding her service plan?
I have not. She's not been in contact with me since I took over the case.
Okay, and you said you have had the case for about 8 months now?
Correct.
Okay, so in regards to the services, has the mother worked any of the services to your knowledge?
No, ma'am. Not to my knowledge.
You stated the mother hasn't had contact with you. Has Miss Jones had contact with the child?
No, ma'am. There was for the other worker had explained to me when we were staffing with this case, she had said that the mother was purposely avoiding us. I don't know the reasons why. That's just what was relayed to me. But I tried to, have my monthly attempts, my monthly conversations to try to reach out to the mother and go by her house. And again, I was unsuccessful.
Okay. Were visits initially set up between the mother and the child?
Yes, ma'am. There was a visitation plan.
Sorry, did mother engage in those visits?
To my knowledge, I don't know. She hadn't engaged in the visits when I took over the case.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that at least for the 8 months, mother has not maintained contact with the child?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the child how long has the child been in care?
About a year now, actually. No, a little under a year. But I'll give you the exact date. Give me 1 second. The child came into care. She was placed with her aunt on 4/21/2025, so a little under a year.
Okay, and you already testified that the service plan was completed in order to try to mitigate the reasons for removal. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And so if mother had worked the service plan, would that have been important towards reunification?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so at this point in time, do you believe that Carrie Jones has constructively abandoned her child, Debbie Jones?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, at some point in time, did Miss Jones provide St. Francis the name of a possible father?
To the other worker, yes. His name was David Murphy. And when I had staffed with the previous worker, she did provide me with his name. I had to find him because the address that we did have in Impact was incorrect.
Okay,
Excuse me.
and Mr. Murphy did submit to paternity testing, is that correct?
Correct, he did.
And those results came back in November?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, have you had the opportunity to review Exhibit 2?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is Exhibit 2?
Exhibit 2 is his Debbie's and his DNA test.
I'd ask to enter Exhibit 2 into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No objection.
Objection.
All right, exhibit 2 will be admitted.
And Mr. Ryan, upon finding out that he was the father of the child, did Mr. Murphy immediately begin discussing relinquishment with you?
Not immediately. He actually wanted us to place Debbie back, not back, but with his mother. I told him that wasn't possible at the time because Debbie had already been placed with her aunt and uncle for an extended period of time. And then I told him it wouldn't be that easy because we'd have to do background checks, things like that, to a home study, things like that to even get to that point. He had asked why that was the case. I told him I didn't have an answer for him because I wasn't the worker at the time when Debbie was placed with the aunt and uncle. But shortly after that, and after I discussed with him, that Debbie's not moving, she's gonna stay where she is because she's a baby and that's all she's used to, So once I had discussed that with him and talked to him about that, he said that he was in no place to take care of a child, and that he didn't want to pay child support either, so that's why he wanted to relinquish his rights.
Okay, so while it wasn't immediate, it was pretty soon after.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, And the father actually resides in Midland, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And was it coordinated for him to execute the relinquishment in Midland?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And did he do that yesterday?
He did. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And that relinquishment was sent to you afterwards, is that correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the first part one more time?
Was the relinquishment sent to you shortly after he executed it?
Oh, yes, ma'am, it was.
And have you had the opportunity to review the relinquishment?
I did, yes, ma'am. I signed it as well.
Okay, well, you've answered one of my questions there. And that was filed with the court yesterday, is that correct?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of the affidavit of voluntary relinquishment executed yesterday and filed with the court yesterday.
Any objection?
No objection?
No objection.
All right, then I will take judicial notice of the father, David Murphy's fully executed, witnessed and notarized voluntary affidavit of relinquishment of parental rights.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Ryan, are you asking the court today to terminate the parental rights of David Murphy as to the child, Debbie Jones, based upon his affidavit of voluntary relinquishment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you asking the court today to terminate the parental rights of the mother, Carrie Jones, as to the child, Debbie Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
And you testified that Debbie is currently placed in a relative's home?
Correct, yes, ma'am. With her
Okay.
aunt,
Go ahead, say that.
with her aunt and her uncle.
Okay, and she's been placed there since removal?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Do you have the opportunity to see Debbie in the home?
Every month, yes, ma'am.
And how is Debbie doing in that home?
She's doing great. She's very bonded with her aunt and her uncle. They love her very much. They do intend to adopt her if that's the case. And yeah, I mean that she's thriving.
Okay. And it sounds like the current placement is able to meet all of Debbie's emotional and physical needs, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, all of them.
Okay, and do you have any concerns for Debbie whatsoever at this time?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you believe that termination would be in the best interest of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that what you're asking the court today to do today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Archer?
And Mr. Ryan, isn't it true that in the beginning, Carrie Jones intended to maintain a relationship with the child?
Yes, like I said, I wasn't the worker at that time. If those were her intentions, those intentions were never, sought out, especially when I took over the case.
But you did sign the service plan, correct?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Before you took over.
She did, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So she must have had some contact with the previous worker in order to sign that service plan, correct?
She did, yes, ma'am.
And she also had communication with the previous worker because she gave him the name David Murphy, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know the last time? Well, have you had any contact with Carrie Jones?
I have not, no. I've been by her house. I've tried to send messages, text messages. I've tried to call. It was to my knowledge that somebody from CPS had told me that she was gonna go check herself into the pavilion. I went to the pavilion and they did not have a record of Carrie there.
So when you said you visited her home, she did have a place to live?
No, when I went to the home, it's been like almost abandoned. The windows are smashed in. It looks like nobody's lived there for a couple months.
Okay. I will pass the witness.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
Mr. Ryan, Debbie has been placed with relatives of mother, is that correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Since the time she was removed.
Yes, ma'am.
And with mom's cooperation at the very beginning of this case, was she aware of that placement?
She was, absolutely.
Has placement ever told you that moms reached out to them?
No, and in fact, we communicate, I would say, a good amount, myself and placement. And we always have a discussion with each other about, hey, have you talked to Carrie? No. Have you talked to Carrie? No. But no, to answer your question, no, we have not.
And while you weren't the caseworker at the very beginning, that caseworker was employed with St. Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
You're employed with St. Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
Has the St. Francis office changed location or contact information during
No,
this
ma'am.
case?
Not at all.
And during your frequent check-ins on Debbie and communication with placement, have there ever been any concerns about placement with them?
None whatsoever, ma'am.
When Mr. Murphy suggested a home study on someone else, if Debbie had been placed with a non-relative in a placement that was not intended to be permanent, that home study would have been completed. Is that right?
For sure. Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness.
Ms. Powell, any further questions?
Judge, I do have just brief follow-up. Mr. Ryan, I want to go back to Ms. Ball asked you a question that kind of made me remember something there. At this point in time, do you believe that mother can provide a safe home for Debbie?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any idea where she's currently residing?
I don't.
Okay. And the home that you had visited previously that you had for mother, would it have been appropriate for Debbie to return to?
Absolutely not. No, ma'am.
And why not?
Like I said, it looked vacant. There was nobody. The windows were smashed in. I didn't see really any furniture in there. It looked like it's been, like I said, it looked like it's been nobody's been living there for a couple months.
Oh, and this child was originally removed for drug use. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And due to the fact that Miss Jones has completely disappeared, have you been able to get any drug screens from her?
I have not. We've sent her to screen monthly too as well, since I took over the case, and she's never gone once.
Okay, when you say you sent her to screen, what did you do?
I sent her a text message to go screen on a random day every month by 4 p.m.
Okay, and that was on a phone number that you knew had belonged to her?
Correct, the known phone number that we have for her.
Okay, that's all I have, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
All right. And Ms. Powell, just as a clarification, the department is seeking relinquishment of Mr. Murphy's rights solely on the voluntary relinquishment that he executed. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I guess I should ask Mr. Ryan, can I reopen, Judge?
Yeah.
One question. Are you asking that the department be named permanent managing conservator of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I have this time around.
All right. Okay, anybody have any further questions, Ms. Archer?
I have no further questions, Judge.
Ms. Zavala?
No further questions.
All right then, Ms. Archer, anything to present today?
No, unfortunately, I don't have anything, Judge.
All right, do you rest?
I rest.
Okay, and Ms. Zavala, anything to present?
No witnesses, I rest.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation to make to the court?
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe that termination of the father based on his relinquishment is in Debbie's best interest. I also believe that termination of mother based on the grounds alleged is in her best interest as well. She is thriving in her relative placement. I do recommend that the department be named permanent managing conservator while aunt and uncle continue the licensing process in order to adopt.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, everybody close.
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 All right. Then at this time, I do find by clear and convincing evidence that it is in the best interest of the child, Debbie Jones, to terminate the parental rights between the child and her mother, Carrie Jones, based on Texas Family Code, Section 161.001B1, the D, E, and the N grounds, and the best interest of the child under subsection B2. I likewise find by clear and convincing evidence that it is in the best interest of the child, Debbie Jones, to terminate the parental rights between, well, let me back up real quick just to be real 100% clear. I'm so sorry. I'm going to adjudicate David Murphy as the father of Debbie Jones based on the genetic testing that was performed in this case. It's been on file, and establish the parent-child relationship between Mr. Murphy and the child. All right. Then I find by clear and convincing evidence it is in the best interest of the child to terminate those parental rights between the child and David Murphy based on his voluntary affidavit of relinquishment of parental rights under 161.001B1 subsection K, and the best interest under subsection B2. All right, I do make a finding that the Department of Family and Protective Services has made reasonable efforts to reunify the child with one or both parents. I'm going to name the department as permanent managing conservator and dismiss all court-appointed attorneys from the case after the de novo and appellate timeframes expire, with the exception of Ms. Zavala, who will remain in the case. I will continue the child's current placement. Our first review hearing for those still involved will be April 30th of 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket. Counsel, as always, just be mindful of your de novo and appellate timeframes. De novo does begin to run since I've rendered in open court, and we are on an accelerated appeal. So if you should file a notice of appeal, being instructed to do that, please wait to do that until after the final order is signed and adopted by the referring court. All right. I appreciate y'all very much. Thank you so much. I think that's the last thing we had on our docket. Ms. Goodman, appreciate you as always. Thank you so much. And everybody's free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
In the interest of Sebastian Jones, we're here today for an initial permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Goodman is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department. The St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Margie Lopez.
Jay Michelson on behalf of the mother, Alina Thornton. She is present and we're ready.
Jeff Hill on behalf of Father Dale Jones, Judge. I'm not sure if he's going to make it today or not.
I'm here.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
okay.
Sounds good.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Sebastian.
All right, thank y'all. Okay. Let's see, who's gonna give us an update today? Ms. Lopez?
Have an update, yes.
All right, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm you'll tell us the truth today.
Yes.
All right, very good. Okay, you can go ahead and give us an update and then we'll see if anyone has questions.
Okay, so Sebastian is currently not in daycare. He stays home most of the day with his foster parent. He is not sleeping through the night and is waking up around 2 times per night. He has not started any baby foods, but he is gaining weight appropriately. He is using Enfamil Gentle Ease, taking about 6 ounces every 3 hours. So he's doing really well with that. And they are utilizing WIC for him. So they have a sufficient amount of formula for him at all times. He does enjoy tummy time. He is receiving ECI for occupational therapy, and they're seeing him once a week. They are just focusing on getting him to meet his milestones. He's currently rolling over. He is sitting with support. We are waiting on some results that he had done, for some blood tests. The doctor was concerned, and tested him for X-ALD, which is a genetic disorder that affects the baby's ability to break down fats. That is pending. The pediatrician has indicated that she's not too worried about it, as the results are taking a little bit longer than normal, so that's a good sign. But other than that, he is doing wonderful in his placement.
Ms. Lopez, how are parents doing?
So parents are, Alina is currently unemployed. She is living at the Motel 6. She has completed her OSAR assessment, which recommended that she do inpatient treatment, and she has not started that yet. Her last drug screen was positive. She has not completed parenting classes, and she's been dropped from therapy with Mr. Gatlin due to significant no-shows. And then Mr. Jones has started parenting. His drug screens are still positive. He is currently employed doing the Google, he's driving the Google Street View car, and that's a full-time employment. He is in therapy with Mr. Gatlin. He's completed his OSAR assessment, and the recommendation was that he do outpatient treatment, and he is engaged in that as well. And then his housing, he is currently also living at the Motel 6 with Alina.
So from your testimony, it sounds like father is in compliance with service plan and mother is not. Would that be accurate?
Yes. And they
What would-
they have provided his mother as a possible placement option. Her name is Tanya Jones. And so I've provided that information to the permanency specialist so that they can begin a home study.
What was father positive for on his last screen?
Marijuana.
And Judge, just for the court's information, our office did send out the required ICWA notices. To date, we have not received any response from the tribes.
Okay. Thank you. So have we had any meaningful discussion with mom about going to the inpatient? And where she can go and what her options are?
We definitely discussed that yesterday. I did call and talk to her, but I also know that her permanency specialists have reviewed resources with her to be able to provide her with that information.
So can I say something?
Yeah, hey, in just a couple minutes, we'll get to you. Okay. All right, Mr. Michelson, and do you have any questions for Ms. Lopez?
I do, and I think Melinda answered one of them, or partially answered one of them, is the ICWA notice. Mom Alina is Yankton Sioux, and Mr. Jones is Rosebud Sioux. And so I don't know how the ICWA notice reflects that. They agreed to have Sebastian identified as Yankton Sioux and registered with the Yankton Sioux tribe because of benefits. So I don't know if the ICWA notice reflects that or not. And
Mr. Michelson, we're required to send out the notice. Those notices have been sent out to each of those tribes. Unfortunately, the tribe is not required to respond, and until they respond, we don't draw them into the case.
okay.
And so, like I said, they have been sent out. They were sent out back on, well, they were filed with the court on October 23rd. So it's been over 3 months now, and we haven't received word back.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
And
sir.
And as far as the timeline with treatment, in talking with Alina, it was my impression that Alina previously was in treatment at inpatient treatment at Plainview, and over the holidays, during the holiday break, she returned to Plainview, tested positive, and also discovered that her belongings had been stolen, which obviously caused her a great deal of concern. And so she left that facility. And it was my understanding that she had previously talked with her former caseworker about re-enrolling in treatment. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And so now does she have to get another OSAR, or is she just required to go straight to treatment?
She should be able to just go directly into treatment.
And is transportation is an issue for Alina? Is that something you can assist her with?
I think it depends which treatment center she's gonna go to, but yes.
Okay. And I know another option she was concerned about is if it's possible for her to go to outpatient. I know in some circumstances, prolonged outpatient programs are probably more beneficial than an inpatient. Is that an availability for her?
I would have to say no. I think she's struggling with a lot of issues, and those are issues that only inpatient treatment are gonna be able to address for her.
Okay. And I know Alina wants to make a few comments to the court too, so.
Okay, Ms. Thornton, if you want to unmute, and you can tell me what you want to tell me now.
I'm actually doing a parenting class with him, and we only have 2 more parenting classes to do.
Okay, that's great.
And then with the whole therapy thing was I wasn't able to make my appointments the last time was because he didn't tell me that I was rescheduled to go again. And then when it came to him, then when it came to me missing it, that's when he called me and told me that I missed it that day, even though I wasn't aware that he scheduled me. So when I told him that, then
Okay,
he's
so
like,
can
well,
you just slow down a little bit? You're talking really fast and it's hard for the court reporter, and I'm having a little trouble hearing you, so.
I
Who
have
is
2
he, when
parenting
you say
classes.
he, who are you talking about?
Richard Gatlin.
Okay,
And so when it made me it frustrated me because he did that twice. So then that's why I just told him that I'm looking into doing therapy somewhere else. And I left voicemails and I sent 2 emails to the treatment options that were given to me by the one that the caseworker that did my Sarah Fuentes, she did my OSARs, and she was the one that told me about my options that I had. So I left voicemails and I haven't heard anything back. And
are you talking about now for treatment
yeah,
programs?
for inpatient treatment, yes.
Who have you contacted?
I've contacted the one in San Angelo, and then another one, which I can't remember the name of it, but I contacted both of them, and all I left was 2 voicemails, and that was it. And I haven't heard nothing, with no word back or nothing yet. And then for the tribe, I even emailed and called them myself to see how I go about getting my baby enrolled.
Okay, all right, I was gonna suggest if you all have agreed about that, you know,
'Cause
you certainly can take the steps to try to get him enrolled, registered with that tribe. There's
And
nothing,
so that's because I've been wanting to look into a caseworker to how to go about enrollment.
say that again?
A caseworker to go on how to get him enrolled.
You're wanting somebody to help you go do that?
No, looking for a caseworker from our tribes, like a caseworker.
Okay. So you know someone that can help you with that?
No, I'm asking for, that's what I've been looking for help for. Is for a caseworker.
Okay, but when
Because
you say caseworker, are you talking about somebody with the tribe, or are you talking
yeah,
about
with the
somebody with
tribe.
this process?
No, with the tribe.
Okay. Well, all I can tell you is you probably are gonna have to just keep calling these folks back.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what else to do more than just, because I called and I called twice and I don't know what else to do about waiting. I mean,
The tribes aren't very good at calling.
and the tribes
calling
are,
back.
and the tribes, or every time that I called them, it just, or straight to voicemail or they weren't open. So that's why I just, yeah, well, I'm not gonna give up though if I should keep calling though. Thank you.
Okay, with the tribe, I don't know what else to tell you to do because I don't have any control over that. Now, with the inpatient treatment, it's hard for me to say without you telling me what the names of what facilities you've contacted, but I'm just gonna ask Ms. Lopez to look and see what was on your service plan and
And
see if,
it was it was really frustrating because my last caseworker, she wasn't helping us or helping me at all about going, like where to go and who to call about treatment.
okay, Ms. Lopez, what's on her service plan? I'll see if I can find it too.
For treatment specifically,
Yeah, did
So
we give some contact information?
so on her family plan of service, it has her OSAR, but that she will follow the recommendations, which are just inpatient treatment, which is what was
Yeah.
recommended to her.
And then so the one of the
Ms. Thornton, hang on, Ms. Thornton, hang on just a second. I'm trying to, let me find out what I need to from her first, okay? Just a minute.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Lopez, have you, or do you know if anyone through St. Francis has given her contact information for any inpatient treatment facilities?
I'm not 100% sure if they've given her treatment facility options. I do know that she spoke to her current permanency specialist about a treatment center in San Angelo, and they've discussed also Serenity Center.
She
So-
lives in Lubbock, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
currently living in Lubbock.
Okay, was one of those Ms. Thornton Serenity?
I believe so, yes. And then another one called the Meadows.
Okay. I think try to call them back.
Okay. And then I also have another question. If I were, because I'm still applying at jobs. So if I were to get a job, could I then go into outpatient treatment or no? Or
I'd
do I
love
just
to
have to go to inpatient treatment?
I'd love to see you complete an inpatient program, successfully complete that. And when you're discharged, then, what you need to do is really then go into a long-term aftercare type program.
Okay.
And there are some of those available, I know, in the Lubbock area.
Yes, we also have the Downtown Women's Center, and I'll ensure that her permanency specialist discusses those options with her, but she's got to already be in recovery by that point.
Right. So it opens up some more options for you if you have gone to inpatient and successfully completed that. And while you
Okay,
don't have a
thank you.
job right now, it's the perfect time to go.
Okay.
So I'd really like to see you complete the inpatient and then get involved with a long-term program.
Okay.
That's your greatest chance of success.
All right. Thank you.
Those programs provide you a lot of support system, and help you through the tough times, and a lot of them can help you find employment. And I mean, it's just there's a lot that can offer you. Okay. All right. Mr. Hill.
Judge, no questions. Mr. Jones is doing well and working his service plan and just wanting to get through the process.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Zavala.
Ms. Lopez, I think you just answered this, but are both parents and the child, are they all in Lubbock?
Yes,
Oh.
Sebastian's in the Lubbock area. He's in Wolfers, but Lubbock area pretty much.
Okay. And the parents are currently living together?
Yes, they are. They're in a relationship together.
Okay. And I know that the report talked about virtual visits. Are parents having any in-person visits at this time?
No.
I have no further questions.
Is that because of the drug use?
Yes.
And Judge, I do have
Are
a
we ta-
follow-up. Yep.
Yeah, are we talking about starting dads? I
So
mean, he-
his drug screens have still also been positive, but in January, they did not go into test at all.
Okay, so if he'll go test for us today and is either negative or if it's just marijuana again, can we start his visits?
Yes, I don't see any issues with that at all.
All right, same with mom. She can
Yeah,
go
absolutely.
test and we'll see where we're at. If it's positive for meth or fentanyl or something like that, then we've still got a problem. If
And
it's
Judge,
if it's positive for a drug that can be transmitted skin to skin, then we've still got a problem with her having in-person visits.
Okay, sounds great.
and Judge, I was gonna ask if the department was asking for, St. Francis was asking for drug screens today, so we would request that those be court ordered, especially based upon your line of questioning just now.
Okay, I'm gonna order them to go drug screen today, hair and UA. What's the cutoff time, Ms. Lopez?
I believe it's 4 p.m.
Okay, can they get there? Do we know, Mr. Jones, do you have transportation to get you all there?
I do as soon as I get off work, yep.
What time you off work?
I could be out by then.
Okay, I mean, you need to be there before that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, anybody have anything else?
Judge, just as a procedural issue, obviously, we had jurisdiction here at the time of the removal, but now it appears that everybody is in Lubbock and the Lubbock area. I don't know if parents are planning on staying in Lubbock. I guess we could ask them if the court's okay, but if everybody is now in Lubbock, would it be appropriate to have a conversation with the court down in Lubbock to determine whether they would accept a transfer of this case?
Let me ask a question. I mean, and I'm having the same thoughts, but let me ask about paternal grandmother, since they're wanting a home study on her. Where does she live?
She also lives in Lubbock.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably appropriate to see if the transfer, that way, Ms. Thornton and Mr. Jones, you would transfer to another court. It's just like this. It's all child protection cases, but you'd have a different judge, but all your people would be there locally. Your
Yes,
attorneys,
ma'am.
it might be a lot easier for you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, we'll look at that.
And so, Judge, just for clarification in writing on this order, you said if parents are negative or only positive for marijuana, they can begin in-person visits?
Yeah.
Okay. And Judge, if you want to have a conversation and they will agree to accept, if they'll agree to the transfer of the case, we will file a motion to transfer upon notice that they would do that.
I'll reach out. Mr. Jones, are you all actually in Lubbock County?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll reach out and see what I can find out about that. Let me make a note. Ms. Lopez, do you have any information on paternal grandmother? In other words, do you think that that's a likely possibility for placement?
She does have Dell's older children, and they are older and a little bit more independent. There were some concerns with medical issues that she's having, as well as stability, of her home. So those are things that we can address in the home study.
She has custody of my other two children. I want to throw that out there.
Okay.
So those would be Sebastian's older brothers that she takes care of.
Yeah, we just need to know if is she willing? Is she physically able to do that?
Yes.
So all of those things, because you're talking about a baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the child's current placement. I find a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. I find father is in compliance with his family plan of service. I find that mother is not in compliance at this time. I'm going to order both of them to drug test for us, hair and UA, before 4 p.m. today. If they are negative or only positive for marijuana, they can begin in-person visits. We'll look at a possible transfer of the case to Lubbock County, so I'll let everybody know about that. And until that officially happens, we'll be scheduled for our next hearing on June 2nd of 2026, and that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. So just be aware if it does transfer, probably that's going to be a different court date. You'll get new attorneys. You know, all of that will happen. So you just need to be sure that y'all stay in close contact with your current attorneys and caseworker, okay? All right. Okay, thank you all very much and continued good luck to you. In the interest of eternity, Vincent, we are here set for our adversary hearing today. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming. Ms. Goodman is making our record. All right. Present for the department is Ms. Powell. Ms. Sapien has been appointed to represent the mother, Cynthia Fuentes. Ms. Sapien's present. Her client is not. The father, Charles Vincent, is not present. Ms. Zavala is present on behalf of the child, Eternity. So let me ask Ms. Powell first, what's the status of service on the parties?
Judge, we've not been able to get anybody served at this time. The mother, and I can get some testimony from Ms. Marquez if you'd like me to in regards to location for both parents, but we at this time do not have information in regards to the location of either parent. Ms. Marquez has had some minimal contact with the mother, and Ms. Marquez can correct me if I'm wrong, but primarily at the ex-paramour's home, and that's been sporadic. And in regards to Mr. Vincent, there's been basically no contact since the removal. The mother did give Ms. Marquez the possibility that Mr. Vincent could be at one of the shelters or at like the Guyon Saunders Resource Center, one of those type places. But Ms. Marquez has been unable to locate him. And at this point in time, we don't know if he's even still in Amarillo.
All right, they were very, I mean, at the time that the child was still in the hospital, I mean, they were essentially homeless. Is that correct?
That's correct. And they were very sporadic at even visiting the child in the hospital. So it was really kind of hit or miss as to whether they could, whether Ms. Marquez could even catch them there.
All right, Ms. Sapien, let me just ask, I mean, this is our first setting. Are you wanting to extend this and reset just to see if there's any hopes of getting in touch with your client?
I would like to, Judge, just to do my due diligence. The phone's not working, but I'd like to give her an opportunity to know.
Okay, all right, this is the case, Ms. Powell, that you all also pled on the, at least on the mother. On
On the mental deficiency.
inability, the inability to care for the child.
And Judge, that was based upon, I know you read it, but that was based upon the reported TBI that the mother has and the fact that her older children are in, the care of an ex-paramour. And so just kind of in abundance of caution, we went ahead and pled that so that she would be appointed an attorney.
There were concerns by medical staff as well about ability to care properly for the child. That was not pled on the father, is that correct? Just on mother?
That was not pled on the father, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
I think we had more of a basis to plead. I mean, obviously there were concerns with the father, but in regards to the mental deficiency, mental illness grounds, we had more of a basis to plead that in regards to the mother than the father.
have we gotten, I mean, as the maternal grandmother, they were staying with her at one point, has she been able to shed any light or help us at all locate them?
Ms. Marquez.
Sorry, I wasn't sure, like not being called to the stand or something.
That's okay.
So I talked to so I've talked to the maternal grandmother. There's concerns there as well. I guess there was an argument once they found out that I had reached out to her, which they knew I reached out to her because I did it in front of them about taking them to drug screen. I guess they then went to that house and started screaming and yelling at her and threatening to beat up her son. So she kicked them out of the home and has not seen them since then. And that was the Friday that next week. So the Friday, not the Friday of removal, but the next week. I've had some conversations with her. She has not heard from them. Mom's phone is turned off. Dad's phone, he said he lost it. But I can still leave voicemails and text it. There's just no reciprocation. Grandma has voiced her concerns for his aggression and her ability to care for the baby. But the department, as far as like a placement there's just some concerns there we would have to look more into. And neither parent filled out their resource form. So we have no other family to look into right now.
All right, and then the other thing I'm wondering is about appointing a guardian ad litem for mom, but kind of would like to wait and see if Miss Sapien has contact with her and see if Miss Sapien thinks that that would be necessary. But if we've pled the mental grounds, I mean, normally we would also appoint a GAL for her.
I have the friend's number I can provide to Miss Sapien as well. There's two other number, like I said, it's not consistent. Like she'll text me from a number and then not text me back for days and then text me from a different number. And I'll provide those to her. I have no idea where she is right now. And Dad originally was living in Wichita Falls. He had just come down to see Mom, and then she went into labor. So he may be back there.
Ms. Marquez, if you could give me those numbers, I would appreciate it. I was going to ask for this, so that'd be great.
Yeah.
And Judge,
yeah, I'll email. Sorry.
Oh, that's sorry. And Judge, I'm happy to, keep trying to get in contact with my client. And then once I do, if I do have concerns about her competency, I can bring that to the court.
Okay. Miss Katie, are these ones that we got the attorney forms on?
No, Judge, that was the one for next week.
Okay, all right, next week. Okay. I just wanted to double check because it's like we've had this whole conversation on a different case. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll have to set it 7 days. We'll have to set it next week. Miss Katie, can we set it next Tuesday? I
That's,
know I won't be hearing it, but I'm gonna have a
yeah,
visiting judge next week.
Tuesday's gonna be tricky. The visiting judge is out that afternoon for a luncheon.
Okay,
And then we've got a termination hearing that morning. So, I mean, maybe if we started at 8:30, if that works for everybody. Because we've already got one more adversary and then a motion to participate that morning as well.
was she gonna be out the balance of the afternoon?
Yeah, she told me we couldn't have anything scheduled that afternoon. So we've got the one, but we'll probably be extending if that one's not an agreement.
Okay. I guess we can check to see if we can start at 8:30 that morning.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and tell you all that it'll be set at 8:30.
I was going to tell you in regards to that final hearing next Tuesday, I think we're going to have to ask for an extension on that. We have an outstanding paternity issue on it. Okay. That changes things a little bit. When father was here in Potter County, I'm not quite sure what happened, but they did not get the paternity drawn. And then he was shipped off to TDCJ. It's my understanding they have. I think they've done it or they were doing it this week, but I don't know that we'll have paternity testing back by Tuesday. And I think that one may have actually been set for an early final. No, it was not. It was not set for an early final, but it looks like we're going to have to at least do an extension to get paternity back.
Or call and recess.
Or call and recess. Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Okay, we can probably set it at 9 then, if that's going to be the case with the final. And it looks like we have 2 adversaries that day. Yeah, I've got one in that morning and one at 1:30 that we'll have to extend if there's not an agreement at from the 1:30. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Okay. So this will be set on the 9 o'clock docket.
Yes, ma'am.
Will it be at 9 or will it be?
Well, it'll be a little bit later on. We've got some other stuff set.
Okay. All right. So we're going to reset that for the 10th on the 9 o'clock docket. Okay. So let's just do that. We'll see if anybody can make contact and, thank y'all for sharing that information with Miss Sapien. And, we'll see what happens between now and then. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much.
Judge Kilm just emailed me and said that the paternity test is to be done today.
Okay. I just can't imagine we'll have it back.
I don't think so.
Yeah. In the interest of Celine, Rivera, Zuniga, we are here for an initial permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Goodman is making our record. All right, Mr. Perales, let me swear you in. You promised to accurately translate from English to Spanish and Spanish back to English today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department. The St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Angela Tidwell.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of Melissa Zuniga. My client's present. We're ready.
Lorraine Lucero on behalf of the father, Jesus Zuniga, Your Honor, we're present, ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Celine.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'm going to remind everybody, please be respectful of Mr. Perales. Slow the pace down. Let's don't have any run-on paragraphs. Okay, then who's going to be testifying today? All right, Ms. Tidwell, if you'll unmute. You promised to tell us the truth today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Tidwell, you can give us an update and then we'll see if anybody has questions.
Yes, ma'am. I took over this case on January 19th and had the pleasure of meeting with Melissa and Jesus. Melissa, since the filing of the court report, Melissa has completed her individual therapy. And I received a letter from her therapist releasing her on January 28th. Melissa continues to engage in adoptive parent support group with Leanne Lefevre. And there was a family therapy appointment that was scheduled for January 23rd, but due to the inclement weather, that appointment has been moved to this Thursday, February 5th at 4 p.m. And that'll include Celine, Melissa, and Jesus. Jesus has completed all of his parenting classes. We are having an issue getting that certificate of completion, but we're working on that so I can file it with the court. There is an OSAR that he's supposed to participate in. I'm not sure if the previous worker set that up, but I will get on that and make sure that OSAR is set up. Melissa and Jesus are participating in weekly visits with Celine on Saturdays, and they're doing every other Saturday virtually, and then the other Saturdays they participate in in-person visits. So that's my update on the parents. I'm going to move to Celine. Celine's in 4th grade, and she's doing well in school. She is active on the Little Dribblers basketball team. She participates in 4-H, and actually she came in 2nd in the district for her cooking and nutrition. She's learned to ride a bicycle. She participates in church weekly. She's learning sign language. And she continues to see her therapist, Delois Hinders, twice a month. I've not reached out to Delois yet to get those therapy notes, but I will do that. When I spoke with Kimberly Hawley, current placement, and I asked about Celine's behaviors, she stated that her behaviors are very minimal and that she's just a joy to be around, and that behaviors usually only occur post visits. And there is, I'm going to go back to Melissa and Jesus. There was a question about doing one family therapy appointment, and I don't think that's ample. I believe this family needs to engage in several family therapy appointments.
Okay, yeah, normally we would do that until the therapist thinks we're all good to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that's what we probably need to do, but I'll listen to what everybody has to say first. Okay, anything else, Ms. Tidwell?
No, ma'am, that's all the updates I have.
All right. Okay, and thank you for your pace. I appreciate it. Okay,
ma'am.
Ms. Sapien, do you have any questions?
Just a couple, Judge. Ms. Tidwell, based on your testimony, Ms. Zuniga is in compliance with her service plan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so really the only outstanding thing for her is this family therapy?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. And will those sessions be in person?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
Okay. And the goal is still to reunite Celine with her parents. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you're anticipating more than one session with the family therapist?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
To rectify the reason for removal, to ensure that this family is working together as a unit so they can learn how to come up with ways to, if there's behaviors, they can learn how to approach or engage in these behaviors appropriately.
Thank you, Ms. Tidwell. I'll pass the witness.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Lucero, any questions?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Ms. Tidwell, on the family counseling therapy, you said that they're set to have their first appointment this Thursday at 4.
Yes, ma'am.
And how often will those be?
I will have to get with the therapist depending on her schedule. I would like at least twice a month would be ample, but if she could do weekly, that would be even better.
Okay. And as far as the OSAR for Mr. Zuniga, it's my understanding, I guess I send over the payment and then they reach out to him. Do you know, will you ensure that whoever reaches out to him speaks Spanish so that he can communicate, or if they leave him a message to leave it in Spanish, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
All right. And at this point, would you agree with me that Mr. Zuniga is in compliance with his family plan?
Yes, ma'am, he is.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tidwell. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Zavala, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Tidwell, there's a sibling who's involved in a separate case, is that correct?
That is my understanding, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I know you are brand new to this case, but are you aware that Celine was able to have an in-person visit with her sister recently?
I believe Kimberly Hawley, foster mom, did mention that to me.
Okay. The counselor who's going to be providing the family counseling, that is the same counselor that provided mom's individual counseling, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So she will begin working with mom and Celine. Would it be possible for you to forward me all her contact information so I can provide her some background information on Celine?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, because you just took over this case, you may not be aware, but are you aware that she is very bonded with this older sibling?
Yes, ma'am, I was informed of that.
Okay. Are you also aware that there is a lot of friction between parents and this older sibling?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, those are all the questions that I have. I have some more information I would like to forward on.
Sure, okay. Let me jump back. Ms. Sapien, anything then to add today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Lucero?
I just have a clarification question, Your Honor. Ms. Tidwell, the contact between Celine and her older sibling, is that supervised? Is it a phone call or how does that work?
It is supervised, but at this time, I am not sure if it's in person or if it's virtual. I'll have to find that information out.
Okay, but it is supervised, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tidwell. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, Ms. Zavala, anything further or recommendation today?
Yes, Your Honor. To me, the biggest and most necessary service in this entire case is the family counseling. That is vital in terms of reunification. There are some dynamics outside of this individual case that also need to be addressed. Celine is very much bonded with her older sister. That older sister will not be coming back into the home. And it is very important that everybody as a unit learns how to communicate about older sister, because there have been statements made that have been very painful to Celine about that older sister. I understand that parents are not getting along with her at this point. I get that. But it is very important that they learn how to communicate with Celine in a way that's not hurtful for the rest of the family dynamic. The communication with Sibling, they were able to have an in-person visit, went extremely well. They were both incredibly happy to see each other. That older sister is now placed back with biological mom, so there may be some issues that need to be addressed in terms of how they communicate going forward. But I do know it is very important to Celine to keep that communication. So we've got to do some thinking and planning about how that's done properly. Far enough away that there's no in-person at this point. It's just going to be virtual. But that is incredibly important to Celine at this point. So we're going to need to have some meetings about how that goes forward. But in terms of reunification, I cannot see a situation where one family counseling session is enough to address all of the issues that need to be addressed. We are headed towards reunification. That is a great thing. We just need to do it in a way where it sticks. Those are my concerns. Celine is doing amazing in her placement. No behavior issues, doing great. So I do recommend that placement continue.
All right, thank you. Okay, yeah, knowing what the underlying dynamics are and everything, I can't see that one session is going to do this. I mean, I think for the greatest chance of success, that the ongoing family therapy is absolutely necessary. And I agree with Ms. Zavala, probably the most important component. So, we need to continue with that. Ms. Tidwell, yeah, if there's any way to do it weekly, that's great. If parents' schedules, can do that. Certainly twice a month is, I think, critical. So, all right. Sounds like on the whole, everything is going well. We're headed in the right direction. I'm sure you all are learning through your support group with Ms. Lefevre that, we want this to succeed. So we need to set it up to make sure we've got, a recipe for success, not rush it, so to speak. We've got time. So let's use it to everybody's advantage. All right, then, for today, I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue Celine's placement. I would find there would be a continuing danger to return the child home at this time, simply because not because parents aren't in compliance, they are, but simply because we've got some work to do so that we make sure that this is going to last. And another, to send her home too fast and have another failure, I'm telling you, that can really be hard and really be bad and almost irreversible for the child. So we do not want that. So we're going to take our time. All right. I'll see everybody back on June 2nd. We'll have another review, and my hope is at that time we'll be a lot closer. So, and that we'll be talking about how she's going to be worked back into the home, and maybe at that point we'll be talking about within 30 days or something she would be in the home. So, okay, I appreciate everybody. Mr. Perales, thank you. And I'll see you back June 2nd on a 9 o'clock docket.
Yeah.